Hey everyone! Today, we're diving into the must-have supplies for anyone looking to create their very first comic book. Whether you're a budding artist or a seasoned storyteller, these essentials will set you on the right path. We're talking about the tools that'll take your comic from a simple idea in your head to a full-blown, awesome work of art. We're gonna break down each item, show you why it's important, and even give you some tips on how to use it. So, if you're ready to unleash your inner comic book artist, stick around, because this video is for you. Let's get started. First up, we have the sketchbook. This is where all your initial ideas and rough sketches will come to life. You want something with good quality paper that can handle erasing without tearing. We're talking hundreds of ideas, people. Hundreds. Think of it like your training montage before the big game. This is where your comic book starts to take shape. Now don't be afraid to fill those pages with anything and everything that comes to mind. Superheroes, villains, epic battles, talking animals, whatever your imagination throws at you, the sketchbook is your judgment-free zone. Go wild. Trust me, some of your best ideas will come from just doodling and letting your creativity flow. Remember that time I filled a swimming pool with ramen noodles? Pure genius, right? Well, it all started with a doodle in my trusty sketchbook. You'll also need a good set of pencils and erasers. These are crucial for drafting and making corrections. And trust me, you'll be making a lot of corrections. Even the best artists make mistakes. It's all part of the creative process. It's like when we tried to build that giant cardboard castle, total disaster at first, but we learned from our mistakes and eventually, boom, epic win. Now, when it comes to pencils, you've got options. You can go with traditional graphite pencils, or you can try mechanical pencils for super fine lines. It's all about finding what feels right in your hand. And don't even get me started on erasers. From kneaded erasers to gum erasers to those fancy electric ones, there's a whole world of erasers out there. Find what works for you and stock up. We're talking enough pencils and erasers to last you through a zombie apocalypse, because you never know when inspiration will strike. Chapter 3. Inking pens. Making your art pop. Another important item is inking pens. These will help you define your artwork and make it stand out. Think of it like adding that extra layer of awesomeness. Like, remember that time we covered a Lamborghini in 10,000 post-it notes? We didn't just stop at the car, we outlined the whole thing in neon green tape. It made it pop. Inking pens come in all sorts of sizes and styles. You've got your fine-tipped pens for detail work, your brush pens for bold lines, and everything in between. Experiment and find what you like best. And here's a pro tip. Practice your inking on a separate sheet of paper before you go near your precious comic book pages. You don't want to ruin all your hard work with a misplaced line. Chapter 4. Coloring supplies, bringing your comic to life. You'll definitely want to have some coloring supplies, whether it's markers, colored pencils, or digital tools. This is where your comic really comes to life. Adding color is like adding a whole new dimension to your story. It's like when we turned that boring old office building into a giant ball pit. Suddenly it's a party. Now if you're going old school with markers or colored pencils, make sure to get a good variety of colors. And don't be afraid to blend and shade to create depth and dimension. And if you're feeling really adventurous, you can dive into the world of digital coloring with programs like Photoshop or Procreate. The possibilities are endless, just like that time we filled a hotel room with puppies. Wait, we haven't done that yet. But it's on the list. Chapter 5. Ruler and templates. Keeping it neat and clean. Last but not least, a ruler and templates. These will help you keep your panels and text boxes neat and organized. You don't want your comic book looking like it was drawn by a bunch of squirrels on a sugar rush, right? We want those lines crisp and clean. A good ruler is essential for drawing straight lines and dividing your pages into panels. And templates? Well, they're like cheat codes for drawing perfect circles, squares, and speech bubbles. Trust me, these tools will save you a lot of time and frustration in the long run. Plus, a neat and organized comic is a happy comic. And there you have it. With these supplies, you're all set to start creating your very own comic book. Remember, the most important thing is to have fun and let your imagination run wild. Don't be afraid to experiment, make mistakes, and learn along the way. Who knows, maybe one day your comic book will be the next big hit. And when that happens, just remember who gave you the tools to succeed. Just kidding. But seriously, go create something awesome. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more tips and tutorials. Happy drawing!